Kia ora Papatūānuku te iwi, greetings earthlings. Today we'll be looking at my build process for my mini milling machine. Here is a CAD drawing of the milling machine. The base is made up of 4 pieces of wood joined together using PVA glue and wood dowels. We have the wooden base, the mast, aka the y-axis of the mill, and attached to it the motor for the spindle. This sectioned view allows us to see how the y-axis telescopes into the base, while it is also attached via the countersunk steel plate at the bottom. Here is what the mill will look like in the near future. I cut the parts to size off camera and now sanding them to an imperfect but still fairly nice finish. I have begun the process of marking out the cutouts. As you will see, I had major problems with the jigsaw. I did not realize this at the time, but the blade support was retracted so far back that when I attempted to cut, there was no support for the blade as I pushed it through the material, hence all the jamming. You'll see much later in this video I rectified that issue and the jigsaw worked really well. This part took ages. I heavily edited this. It took way longer than it should have. I momentarily turned to a handsaw, then promptly went back to the jigsaw. I am now marking out the bottom plate, then cutting and drilling. I am using tiny screws to mark on both parts of the base the hole locations for the dowels. I saw this trick in a YouTube video. I'll fit them together, then tap one of the pieces into the other one to create the marks for the hole locations. I'm using a couple of different squares to mark the center of the T-slots of the aluminium extrude. Then project those lines onto the sides of the wooden pieces. This will tell me where to drill the holes for the screws that have to line up with the T-slots. You'll see my sketchy clamping setup for these parts I'm gluing together. As sketchy as it looks, it worked surprisingly well. I gave it over 24 hours to dry. The bottom plate will be countersunk. I am using a multi-tool and a chisel to do this. This part was really fidgety as I had to thread the screws through the holes, then put the T-slot nuts on those screws, then slide the mast through the cutout as well as the T-slot nuts, engaging into the T-slots themselves. Hopefully that makes sense. Not only is the mast attached to the base via the bottom plate, but also with these screws and T-slot nuts. This will help with rigidity. I'm checking it's square. Not easy to do with a wooden base, but it turned out pretty good. I am marking out the hole positions for the bolts that will secure the XZ cross slide table. I'm reattaching the motor. This is a recent upgrade. I am marking and cutting out the size and shape of the base plate. As you can see, I have the jigsaw dialed in nicely. It works like a dream now and makes light work of cutting this steel. It fits well. This plate attached to the base adds a little more weight to the machine. I have clamped the C channel to the mill Y-axis, then pressed cross slide table firmly against it while tightening the nuts to secure the cross slide table to the base. This ensures that the cross slide table is running square to the mill axis. Perhaps not toolmaker's level precision, but good enough for my applications. The fun part. This is sped up footage of me fly cutting a piece of aluminium. Pretty decent finish. Finally, here is how the machine currently looks. Thanks for watching.